Ben has his receipts from last Friday. How'd we do?
We did pretty good. Who we had, gentlemen, who you got, something we do every Friday, like Dibs says. We rarely hear some of these sports prognosticators give the receipts of what they actually talked about the week before, and we are the ones to bring it to you the week of. Are you ready to go, Tony? A little Tire Depot action here on this, or no? Is that what you're looking for?
No.
Oh, okay. Who you got? Brought to you by Tire Depot, by the way, our friends over there.
Oh, I got plenty of Tire Depot, man.
Okay.
Don't wait until the weather hits you, and then like today you had sleet, and then it was 50 degrees outside. Worn uneven treads in the winter can quickly lead to unsafe driving conditions. Connecticut's #1 tire source.
Look at you.
Tony and his team here in Connecticut, right off Route 6 in Bristol, they're ready to get you the best tires. Cooper Tires, Michelin, BF Goodrich, Hankook, and more always have the leading brands on hand. Go to TireDepotCT.com for more information.
And we had to do some driving around the Nutmeg State to get in all the hoops on the weekend, especially all the hoops that we had a part of Who You Got on Friday. And gosh, boys, I'll tell you what, we have got some great basketball, and it just doesn't all live on the campus of Stores. We did pick 2 other Connecticut basketball games on Friday that were in our state. First off, the showdown in Hamden. Fairfield, the Stacks, went to the Bobcats' den, Quinnipiac, and want to see if they could upset a big one in the MAC. As we have told you for several weeks, the MAC goes through either Fairfield and Quinnipiac. Now, Dibs, I got to go to this game.
Oh, Muffy, we have to go to Hamden.
Now, I was asking both of you fellas, and we'll throw Sacred Heart in this mix as well, because it was a part of my pick of how great these home court advantages are. Was shocked, was surprised. Quinnipiac gets pretty loud.
Okay, but can I say something about the mascot on the center? Because I watched
Bobcat?
the game.
Yeah.
The Bobcat. What is that arm thing?
I don't know.
It looks like this long. Bobcats don't have long arms and paws, and there's like this long arm that comes down, like it wants to wrap its arm around the entire stand.
I felt like it's a hook, like you know how you have like bad talent out there, and you're running the show, and you got to give them the old big.
Just give me the
head.
head. Just give me the Bobcat head.
I feel like the Bobcat hook is like, hey man, you're shooting way too many threes. Get out of here. Now, the Quinnipiac Bobcats, I will tell you, fellas, have not seen a three-pointer they do not like. I think that this team is allergic to the inside the 2 range. But I was impressed with a little bit of the tailgating that I saw. Plus,
really, people were tailgating?
Well, you know how the Quinnipiac gym goes. Like you have hockey on one side and you have hoops on the other side.
Awesome.
Now, I learned on Friday night, and then our friend Nick Federico, who is an alum from Quinnipiac, he taught me this.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that they served beer there. They serve beer there. And they serve dollar beers there.
All right.
Oh, really? So they're beating UConn's $2 beers.
However, I don't know why they do it this way, Dibs. You can only drink your dollar beer on the opposite side of the arena. So if it's a hockey night, the hoops will be selling the beer.
But you're drinking your beer on the opponent's side, so the more you drink, the more you're going to give them hell.
You can't go from drinking your beer to wherever we're playing. They keep that separate. You have to buy and drink your beer in the arena that's not being used.
What?
It's the weirdest thing, dude.
Only in
It's the
Connecticut.
weirdest
You
thing.
can come up with some ridiculous rules.
So you got to chug it?
This is the
you
no
pretty much
fun
gotta
state. Really?
Double fist it, get as much as you possibly can, chug it, and then
There's
go
a
back
game
to your
going on
seat.
in the next arena. I got and then run in there and watch.
Yes,
So I'm hammered quicker.
correct.
I don't think that makes sense.
But the place was electric. It really was electric. And
Because you're drinking and running,
it's
Yeah,
a lot of drink on the run.
A lot of adrenaline.
A little bit of drink on the run. But Fairfield came with it, dude. Like
They did.
They have got a guard that scored 27 points by the name of Leach. They ended up winning the game 85-81 over a very well-played game by both teams. That win gave Fairfield an 11-5 conference record, now 17-10 overall. Right there on the cusp Quinnipiac now 19-7. They're 11-4 in the league. However, this is a one-bid league, and they must win their conference championship.
Wow.
So they're really, battling for positioning right here. And I also learned while I was there, their conference tournament is Atlantic City. Boys and girls of Fairfield and Quinnipiac, if you want a great week,
Go down to Atlantic City.
It's basically like a school project. You should
Wow.
go take advantage of that for sure. Dibs, however, you went with your Quinnipiac because I know you got family that go there.
Yes, my niece.
Unfortunately, you were wrong on that pick. Kurt, was it that place that let you play in the band, or was it CCSU that let you play in the band?
CCSU.
All right, to the Blue Devils we go, as they were at Sacred Heart, and I was thinking the same thing. I did not make it to this game, unfortunately. It was all the way down south at Sacred Heart, and we suspect it's a wine and cheese pinkies out crowd. We all went CCSU, and I wasn't more nervous for anything in my life than this outcome of this game. 68-67 by the skin of the Blue Devils' teeth, by the skin of
That's
the
the way
Blue
Blue
Devils'
Devils do
horns.
stuff, man.
The show got that right.
Yep.
All right. 7-5 when we all agree.
I don't like to go against Catholic schools, but had to go against Sacred Heart that night.
CCSU is cruising to win this conference in the NEC.
What a turnaround.
That would be really. What a turnaround.
Good job in that.
What a turnaround.
Patrick Sellers doing a very nice job over there.
No matter what happens this year is a complete success, but I'm rooting for them to get into the dance. Could be NIT too. Any tournament would do. I think they would be happy with any kind of spot as far as postseason play goes. Like Dibs said, weren't even sniffing it last couple of years. So great to see the Blue Devils doing so well. UConn on the weekend. We rarely pick these games because we would always just be going UConn every single time. So one thing we like to do on the weekend is pick the high scorer. Dibs went with Donovan Clingan, was very effective in so many ways, but didn't really have to put the ball in the basket. What did he finish with? Did he finish like even getting double figures over the night?
I don't
You get
think
10,
so.
you get 6, 8. I know he was the high scorer. The game's high scorer was Cam Spencer. I think he finished with 25.
I think he picked Cam, didn't he?
No, Kurt and I, now you went with Donovan. Kurt and I went with our fave, Aaliyah, over there in DePaul. Yes, here we go again.
Didn't even go with Paige.
Paige Beckers, the highest touted player on both programs. She finished with 30 points. We were all wrong. Gotta start picking Paige for these. I don't think we ever pick Paige for these.
We try to be so clever. We
We try to
overthink it.
We try to outthink the room. That is correct. But we have a couple more weekends to go on that front. Paige Beckers, man.
Like I
Didn't even
said,
need
dude,
it.
she's
Didn't even need
unbelievable. I mean, but what's unbelievable is listening to the game, and they seem like they've never watched her play. Whoever was calling the game, and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe that play! I can't believe that!" It's like, have you ever watched her play? She's amazing.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So you may want to, watch more video before you call those games. But no, she was brilliant. Edwards was brilliant again. Another double-double. Just the defense was just stifling in the second half because it was close for a little bit, about 5 minutes, and then it wasn't. And then it was just like
I don't know why all
Gino's best friend there. He was just
UConn
pummeled.
women's basketball fans get so nervous. And they're like, hey, it's the Big East, man. This is a win. 27-17 the first quarter. Come on.
Everybody gives us a good start. in
Oh,
the
yeah.
Big East.
They give us
it's everything they got in the first 10 minutes.
Great game plan at the tip. They run great tip plays, and then it's all downhill from there. I really think the game slowed down for her. As good as she is, especially against these teams. Like, she is picking and choosing what she wants to do out there. Super effective from the free throw line as well. I'm waiting for the competition, man. I like games when they actually get pushed. And hopefully get some in the next couple of weeks, but I'm not cross my fingers. Let's go to the NBA, shall we? It was Kirk Kaplan who had faith in those New York Knicks, but I tried to remind you before we left, this is a Porzingis Bowl, and Kristaps came to party for the Boston Celtics on Saturday. C's beat the Knicks. Kurt was wrong. Dibs and I were right. Man, Porzingis, dude. linchpin for the Celtics championship.
Yeah.
Linchpin.
I mean, they've won 12 out of 14. Tatum had a great evening as well, but they've got so many good players. It can be Jaylen Brown one night. It can be D. White one night. I mean, they have so many weapons, and they need health. Stay healthy, and they got a shot to go all the way. But it's not going to be easy. There's so many good. Oklahoma City right now and Minnesota are absolute lighting it up with 40 wins, both teams, and it's just, year in and year out, it's a new team that I think the parity in the NBA is because of their salary cap and the way that they keep these players rotating around the league. I know people hate it because they think that there's no loyalty, but at the same time, a lot of these trades benefit some of these lesser than teams, and in a couple of years, Minnesota's gone from a joke to now a first place team in the West.
I could be wrong on this, but I just feel like Minnesota has a bunch of guys that have never won anything that want to prove it to the world. Same with the Celtics. Like, the Celtics have been very close, and they want to prove something to the world. I think Oklahoma City is filled with 19 to 22-year-olds that just don't know any better. Like, these veterans are trying to tell them, hey, guys, you only need to play 55 60 games. Take it easy. What are you running so much for? And Oklahoma City's like, I don't know any different other than the fast. That's the only speed I know.
Is the way I look at it is Anthony Edwards better than Tatum?
No, but on a given
Towns better than Jaylen Brown? I mean, you look at their two top stars and our two top stars on the Celtics. So that's the way I look at it if it came down to a 7-game matchup.
And you got Porzingis.
That's the guy that's the difference maker.
The last pick of the Who You Got. So Kurt was wrong about
Knicks.
Wrong about the Knicks. He did hit Fairfield with us. He did.
Yeah.
He did lose the UConn.
Sacred Heart. Didn't he miss that one?
No, he was with us on CCSU.
We were all on CCSU.
And he was with me on Fairfield. But the one thing I know from the Who You Got, it's the obscure sports that Kurt Kaplan always nails. And this week, it was PFL versus Bellator, the heavyweight division. As soon as I saw this Ferreira standing next to Bader, and they said fight in the middle of the octagon, they got close enough where I could see the size difference. I knew that Tibbs and I made a bad pick on Friday. Dude. Ferreira destroyed Ryan Bader. Destroyed him. In
21 seconds.
20 seconds?
21 seconds.
And like
Greg Googly.
Bader had defense. He had his mitts up. He was just powering through his defense. That dude's a monster. He's going to fight Ngannou here coming up, hopefully, fingers crossed.
What did I tell you his nickname is? Problema.
He is
and
a
he comes out and he goes, I am the real Problema.
He is a Problema.
I am the record setter.
Yes.
Dude, you're a monster.
He is a monster, man.
And nobody's going to want to fight you.
His arm is as big as me.
Dude.
His whole arm.
His mitts when he was pounding on Bader. How did 3 other people beat this dude?
I was thinking that
That's
too.
what I always think. Who are the 3 guys that beat this guy?
He must have been drunk.
Or they tied up his ankle.
Was it 2 versus 1?
It was like a pit bull biting him on the ankle, holding up his ankle, and then he had to tap out.
He's Brazilian, so he's got all that jiu-jitsu background. He knows what he's doing.
I don't think
there.
he needs that.
Does not. I've yet to see it because he's 6'8".
No,
but,
when I looked at
muscular.
like most of his last 10 fights have all been first-round knockouts in the first 30 seconds to a minute. I'm like, yeah, this isn't a good pick. But it's good for our listeners.
It is great.
You're supposed to go against us.
Yes, and I think we even asked Ashmead there at the end, who Ashmead watches all the MMA fights and was trying to tell us, like, man, I got Ferreira in this. And it's like looking at us like we're stupid.
Come on.
What do you know? What do you know? A lot more than us.
So you think Ngannou will want to fight this guy? Because Ngannou was all over this broadcast.
A good question.
I'm coming back.
He wants to fight Ngannou, but does Ngannou want to fight him?
I think so. I think he said he wanted to go back to the PFL and put down boxing for a little. So looks like this could be happening pretty
Honestly,
soon.
That's a fight I'd get. I would get that.
I'd actually pay for that one.
Yeah, those are 2 monster men that I don't know which one's winning.
I like watching big people beat each other up. It fascinates me.
I just like not knowing. And I always think that the MMA is like, I could have seen Bader, not the way after it finished. But for the most part, you do not know how that sport is going to end when you just look at these people.
I'm friends with Chuck Liddell, and I went to his fight against Rampage Jackson, and 39 seconds in, Chuck was out cold. I mean, you just never know. Dude hits your chin, hits your temple, and it's good night, Irene. So Bader was like, "No, don't hit me anymore."
I know.
It was like, God.
I think Bader was so happy his retirement starting early. He's like, "Gosh, I'm so glad I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah, I took the big paycheck here. That's why I accepted this fight.
Good for him. Good for him. I don't want that paycheck.
That's a hard way to make a living.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some spring training. A lot of stuff going on, including the Red Sox are talking to some free agents, so hopefully hold out hope.
Are there any left?
Yes, there's some good ones left. Now that Bellinger went to the Cubs, we'll talk about that, but still some really good left-handed pitching out there. We'll talk about that as well. Slow to sign, but will be a big impact if it goes to one of these Eastern teams. Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive here on Fox Sports Radio. Monday Fun Day, people, as there's spring training games going on all over the MLB right now, and we got our eye on it. We'll be right back.
Route 2